Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, original link to the video top of the description. My name's Connor if you're new. Hello, hope you're all doing well. Philomena on Jesus. And then I have a Knowledgia video that I'm going to enjoy after this. Let's go. Jesus, part 1. Sure, love Philomena.
Humans craved enlightenment. To find it, they'd need a spiritual role model, an icon, an almost Christ-like figure. And as luck would have it, someone fitting that bill was about to arrive. None other than Mr. Jesus Christ. An icon.
Mr.
It was
Christ.
almost as revered back then as Beyonce is today.
Almost.
Jesus' mum was this woman, the Virgin Mary.
Until like 1 year ago, probably less than that, I thought there are two Marys. I thought they were the same Mary. I thought Jesus's mom and Mary Magdalene were the same person, but I guess they're not. So, I'm pausing too early in a comedy video.
Jesus' mum was this woman, the Virgin Mary, who one night got visited by an angel and told she'd been gotten pregnant by a Holy Ghost. Of course, actual ghost is ectoplasm, which only contains ghost sperm. But Jesus wasn't born a phantom, leading experts to believe Mary wasn't impregnated by a real ghost, but by a man in a sheet, like in Scooby-Doo. Jesus was born Jewish, but soon converted to carpentry, as he followed his dad into the primitive chair and table industry. What's ironic about Jesus Christ becoming a carpenter was he was actually named after the two words you're most likely to shout after hitting your thumb with a hammer. Scholars believe he was a real historical figure, like Justin Timberlake or Garfield. Whether or not they think he was the actual Son of God who performed miracles, like walking on wine or helping a deaf man see, they all agree he preached tolerance and forgiveness.
That's right.
A message so important his most ardent followers would eventually start killing anyone who didn't want to hear it. Mary had to give birth here on the floor, like a crack addict, and then lay him in a manger. Manger is another word for trough, and it's where we get the name for modern sandwich chain, Ready to Trough. He was born in a humble stable, which I...
What?
Sandwich chain.
Is it not in the US?
Ready
maybe?
to trough. He was born in a humble stable, which ironically isn't a stable environment for a baby, unless it's a baby donkey, which if records are to be believed, Jesus wasn't. In fact, as this actual painting makes clear, when Christ was born, he had a magic flaming circle on his head, which would have set fire to all the hair and pubes as he came out. The baby Jesus wasn't an ordinary baby. He was born with the pubes as he came out. The baby Jesus wasn't an ordinary baby. He was born with a big yellow circle round his head, which must have been hell for Mary to push out.
Teletubbies. That's literally Teletubbies, the baby in the sun.
Especially when a big yellow circle round his head, which must have been hell for Mary to push out, especially when you think nothing had ever been in or out of her down below before. If only he had been born a ghost after all. Then he could have just floated out, clanking chains and going woo. Where did Father Christmas come from?
Well, Father Christmas comes from...
Father Christmas. Okay, I get that's what you call it. Why do we say Santa? And
St.
you guys...
Nicholas, and he...
Father Christmas come from?
Saint Nick.
Well, Father Christmas comes from St. Nicholas, and he is a 4th century Greek saint and bishop, and he was very renowned for giving presents to the poor, and particularly he gave presents to these 3 girls. If he hadn't given them the money, they would have had to go off and be prostitutes.
So why was he knocking about with these prostitutes?
I don't think he knew them very well. It's just that they...
Well enough to give them gifts.
Give them money. I think he just wanted to save them from the horrors of... I think because basically...
They all say that, don't they?
They do.
How come shops have Father Christmases, but they don't have Jesus's? Is Jesus's the right term? Is it Jesus or...
I think we'd say figures of Jesus.
Figures of Jesus.
I think that Father Christmas himself would probably have preferred there to be figures of Jesus, because in fact there is a medieval story. St. Nicholas got in a punch-up about whether or not God or Jesus was greater and was thrown into prison. So he was obviously very exercised about the purity of religion.
It's all
Aren't they the same thing? Or is that's the big difference? And not great with, I know some religious stuff. I've been to church twice, maybe, in my life. But Jesus, some think Jesus was God's son, and other people think it was just God. And that's why she was a virgin. It's because, like, wait, am I making... I don't know. Okay.
all coming out, isn't it? You know, because like I didn't.
Very exercised about the purity of religion.
It's all coming out, isn't it? You know, because like I didn't know that he used to hang about with prostitutes or get into fights. Now I'm feeling less happy with him coming down my chimney. Jesus was killed because people didn't like what he was saying. So could you call him the first celebrity victim of cancel culture?
I think.
Could you call... Jesus was killed because people didn't like what he was saying. So could you call him the first celebrity victim of cancel culture?
Register that.
I think cancel culture would sort of require the idea that people really saw Jesus as standing for something and they were sure they knew what it was.
Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't a question. I'm literally asking if you could call him the first celebrity victim of cancel culture for our show. Down that lens there. Just, you know, it's a sort of, it's for a credit sequence with punchy sound bites in it. Off you go. Down that lens.
Okay, down this lens.
Yeah.
You might even say Jesus was the first celebrity victim of cancel culture.
Brilliant, thank you.
You got to give credit to these historians. These are real serious historians. I see them on history documentaries all the time. And they do a great job. And they make it even funnier. Love Philomena. Love you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Would appreciate any comments down below. Any recommendations or whatnot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next video. Bye. Hope you're doing well, by the way. I really do. Chin up. See you guys.